guy whose profile is up as a screenshot on this here, that's probably not his real name. He's one of the people who likes to get on and spread disinformation, fake profile after fake profile.
Please leave your message for 971.
Oh, not giving you that one, am I? Okay. Hey, Susan, I wasn't sure if it was too late to call you or not, but I wanted to fill you in on a couple of details before I send you a whole bunch of evidence of the details. It shouldn't be too terribly much. It's just, it's some of the pretty important stuff that helps things to go smoother and helps us both to not get talked over. All right, be safe. Thank you, Susan. All right, it's Sean Schwartz. I should say that. I'm sitting in my car and I got a lot of anxiety over it, so I'm breathing. The thing is, when people are disrespectful to you, they know what they're doing. Natalie Bollinger knew exactly what she was doing. Alicia Bollinger knew exactly what she was doing. These police know exactly what they're doing. The thing with Susan is that if even she can tell that this shit's wrong, that they're not following the protocols, well, that's something that does need to be taken note of. I'm not sure if my car is actually going to start. I suppose this would be a good time to start filling in details here. Alright, so, with a lot of people, they know that I'm homeless, so they offered to help me. And when I start telling them about any of the issues, they want to start telling me how to fix every one of them. No, I need them to listen and take inventory. You need to understand how much I'm up against. If you don't believe me, then we can sit down together and take a look at evidence. Just keep in mind, it's going to take a long time. Once we've sat down and looked through evidence for 3 or 4 hours, you'll be sick of it already, but we'll have found a bit of evidence. The stuff that's the most recent is the easiest to find, but if we don't turn it in right away, then those videos pretty much become useless because more crimes are going to be committed and people are just going to tell me to ignore the last ones. No, this is literally 8 years of hell. On my birthday in 2015, my friends made my life hell. I paid them to helped me move my stuff out of a shop that I had outside of Boulder, Colorado. But my friend screwed me over. In specific, a guy named Josh Hughes. I've spoken about him on many occasions. He's even gotten a hold of me since Natalie's death. To pretend like he gave a shit, but then he didn't. He didn't give a shit. He looked the other way and just wasted my fucking time. What a dipshit. Having Susan to bear witness is a big help, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of officers that have been involved. And I can't remember every single one of their names. That doesn't mean that I'm a liar. That means the police know exactly what they're doing. Officer Will and Lolotai, I didn't know his name until almost a full year after Natalie was killed. Nope, it was over a full year. I had to find out from Colorado Donkey Watch, a YouTube channel. Of course, that guy's kind of a douchebag and mostly an idiot. My fucking foot hurts like a son of a bitch because I can't wash my clothes or change my socks every day. Just the simplest shit that you fuckers take for granted. So, it's getting fucking very difficult to goddamn walk. My back is killing me, and that's what prevents me from walking most of the time. Shannon Alvarado was too busy getting fucking drunk. Her too busy was never too busy. Her daughter gets tired and her daughter does go to bed. But nobody can sleep over Shannon Alvarado fucking screaming. And she's an alcoholic. Meanwhile, the situation with her and her boyfriend and Dan Fabert and a lot of these other web wingnuts, and the fact that she still plays retarded to this fucking day shows that she never intended on helping me. She gaslighted me with the rest of these fuckers. She lied to me in order to get me to spend my resources, but she didn't follow through. She didn't follow through with any of the things she said that she would do. And that's one of the biggest issues with when women offer to help me, is that all women are taught to be liars. And nearly all of the women that have promised to help me, they're addicted to web wingnut bullshit. Some of these people are busy threatening to kill each other over and over and over again. When the police won't do their job because somebody's homeless, that shows how disgusting the whole country is. Because you guys will just watch. You'll just let it happen. Now, who is it statistically who is the most likely to rape you or molest you as a child? 80% of the time, it's one of your parents. That's right, your mom and dad. Overwhelmingly are the most likely people to rape or molest you. And only 1 in 1,000 of those cases is it a stranger. The most likely person to kill you, well, 31% of the time when children are murdered, it's the mother. 31% of the time it's the father. Now, how many women have we heard about this just this week alone? And how many men just this week alone have we heard about killing their children and themselves? At least 3 families of each. Now, the wonderful thing about having my own YouTube channel is that I can speak here where other people aren't going to listen. That situation where I went in with Susan yesterday, I got talked over nearly the entire time, and Susan got to be there for that. Now, 62% of the time when you're abused by a child, 62% of the time when a child is murdered violently, it's one of the parents. 62% of the time. That's a pretty significant number. When I say I've literally been to prison to protect children, I mean it. When I say that I have been to jail many times for protecting children, I mean it. How many of the parents that I turned in had a history of child abuse? Nearly all of them. Nearly all of them. Let's take a look at Amy Kalina Kingery, history of meth abuse and history of child abuse. Joshua Rayborn, history of meth abuse, history of child abuse. Let's take a look at Andrew Witcher and Amy Witcher. For Amy Witcher, it was cocaine. For Andrew Witcher, it was methamphetamines. Both of them convicted of child abuse. Now, the horrible thing is, alright, well, it doesn't look like anyone's violent. I'm going to try to get past this drama as quickly as possible.
Like, seriously.
Thing is, we got a lot of dead kids. Dead children. I want you to think about that for a second. Children. Because you guys don't want to listen to the victims. When these children tell you that their dad is raping and molesting them, and that their mother is beating on them, and you give them a choice between going to juvie for being a runaway or staying with their predators, many of them will go to juvie rather than go home with a daddy who's going to rape them or a mommy who's going to beat them. But then again, before you can send them to juvie, you have to press charges against them as a criminal. So literally, if you're a child in the United States who is raped or beaten by your parents, you have to be charged as a criminal to escape them. How many women do I know, not including that young woman, that 14-year-old girl who was assaulted by her uncle, a sheriff's deputy, in the Safeway parking lot? Not counting her. How many of y'all have gone through that? Where you go to try to turn in your predator and you're given a choice by the police of either staying with your predator or getting locked up. I mean, literally what the officer is supposed to do is to arrest the person who harmed you. Accusations of abuse are enough to start an investigation. When the police won't investigate, won't try to investigate, what does that result in? It results in towns like Tillamook. Towns where if you're getting abused by your parents, there's a possibility that the guy with the edge might be your fucking uncle and he might fucking assault you in front of God and everyone. In my personal opinion, that young woman's mother, stepfather, her uncle, and of course, Officer Sadler, all should have been arrested that day. Not just them. The woman from TFCC who came over. And they had decided that what they were going to do is put her on suicide watch instead of doing their jobs. See, that's the thing, is that when we are abused and people won't listen to us, it makes us suicidal. That's what makes us kill ourselves. We try to get help. And you abuse us for it. When we try to get help, stopping the abuse, and you neglect us and talk over us and talk down to us, that is what leads to people killing themselves. It's not our predators that force us to suicide. It's our so-called friends and loved ones who take away all options that we have. Because all they're going to do is talk over us. Show us that they're not friends, that they don't care. I want you to take a look at the fact that Natalie is not the only person dead because of this. Why don't you look at Rayanna Ingersoll? Or Anna Hunka? How about Rory Jepson? Demetrius Shankling was killed by officers in Boulder, Colorado, who should have been in fucking prison already. Let me tell you all the nice things that I have to say about Tillamook, Oregon. At least some of the people here are not predators. There's people here that I like. Lots of them. Lots of people that I like. That doesn't mean that they're good people. I went to the mandated reporters that I was supposed to. And when they wouldn't do their jobs, I went to all other mandated reporters I possibly could. All of them ran me around in circles. Anything is better than doing their jobs as mandated reporters. Why? Because they don't want to take the time to do it. Somebody who's rich and influential here gets a hangnail. Fucking 14 goddamn cops, 8 fucking EMTs, and 6 fucking fire trucks that show up at your goddamn house. They got plenty of money for fucking harassing homeless people. But they won't do a goddamn thing when we're abused, will they? No, they won't. They'll come and abuse us themselves because they know nobody cares. Fuck the United States and everyone in it. And yeah, sure, I'm speaking up, so at least that's one person. But I'm not willing to shoot people. So I'm fucking up too. Some of y'all might say, oh well, you gotta ask yourself, is it worth your mortal soul? That ain't what it's about. I've lived a whole life of death. A whole life of surviving predator after predator after predator, many of whom claimed to have good intentions, but they showed by their actions that they did not. I had to literally break the law to try to get someone to listen, to try to force the evidence of abuse into the hands of police. But there's no such thing as a good cop, and we all know this. It'll be at least another 2.5 hours before I get my paycheck. I might get it at 9 o'clock tonight. It's not supposed to be here till tomorrow, but it comes from Nebraska. It's all sorts of a fucked up situation. I fight hard for assisted suicide for a reason. A lot of people, as soon as they get busted, they just make another fucking account. I don't hide my sins. Also, many of the things you want to pretend that I did, you're wrong about. I fessed up to my own shit. I've even literally pled guilty to crimes I didn't commit because I was promised help if I did. Not that it fucking matters. You're all pieces of shit. Every one of you. I've been in the United States long enough to know that no matter how good you are, it doesn't fucking matter. In small towns, it's a popularity contest. When you're weird or different or not physically attractive, the town is never going to let you be a part of that town. If you showed up there after 7th grade, they're never going to let you be a part of that town either. Unless you're good looking. I get to be good looking and kind of be a curse. There was a guy named Ryan Gabehart. And Kimberly Jepson was hoping that Ryan Gabehart would ask her out. Instead, he asked out Amber Derry. And who did Kim vent to? She vented at me. She said, "I can't believe he picked a freshman over me." Good Christian woman, right? She's married now and she got kids. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. The thing is, somebody needs to take a full day out to make phone calls with me. There were lots of people who wanted to pretend like they were going to help me, but they do a bunch of time-wasting bullshit. Shannon Alvarado is a worthless piece of shit and an alcoholic. But on the bright side, that's not my fault. Teresa Orrin is another alcoholic. The victim and the preservation of the evidence are supposed to be the most important things in these situations. And yet police do everything that they can to make it impossible to turn in the evidence. No matter what, they're just going to send me to mental health. They have a fucking interview room at the fucking cop shop. This is literally what these rooms are for. And these are heinous crimes committed against me. See, the thing here is, it's not just turning in my predators, it's also turning in the pieces of shit that I went to turn in my predators. I went back to Nicole Peralta even after Natalie was dead. And I recorded it. When I was able. The actions committed by people like Jen Beebe for her own coworkers to know that was going on and to admit that that was going on. And to do nothing and to say nothing to the police. To still refuse to do their jobs as mandated reporters after they admit those things to me. Well, God damn it, by law, you're supposed to turn it in, you stupid shit. I'm not nice, and I'm not gonna be. I don't like child molesters, I don't like rapists, and I don't like bad cops. How about you? There are no good cops here. On the bright side, one of the stadies just rolled by, and they're fucking useless too. Every cop fucking lie to your fucking face and say, oh, if there's a bad cop, I'd be the first one to turn him in. Really? Because I'm trying, and you're doing everything that you can to prevent me. Police officers went out of their way to deny me the most basic of fucking resources. To cut me off from my friends and family. To try to draw it out as much as possible. Any excuse was a good excuse to these pieces of shit. I went to the police on my own on multiple occasions before Natalie was killed. I went to friends on multiple occasions before Natalie was killed. And all of them did the same thing. They showed nothing but disrespect by talking over me the whole fucking time. Telling me what to do, what to think, and what to feel. Anything except helping me to turn in my fucking predators. Fuck all of you. When you say, hey, why don't you turn it into the cops? Because I have to have someone that I know is on my fucking side, in my fucking corner, to make the goddamn call with me. If I don't have that most basic fucking resource, all of these pieces of shit, no, they don't have to do their jobs. They can abuse their position of power for profit and clout. Fuck all you goddamn cowards. You kiss my ass. All you sick fucking shitty ass goddamn parents. I'm after putting you pieces of shit in prison too. When you help child molesters and rapists get away, you don't get to pretend to me like you're a good person who cares. You don't get to post up all that you support the LGBT community after you went around telling people that your ex-boyfriend was a homosexual. Slandering a man's name, that's what we teach people to do. That includes the cops. When it comes to turning in predators, we got too many sexist assholes out there. We got too many man-hating lesbians out there. You want to be a lesbian, that's fine. You want to be a man-hater? You should be locked up. Where you can't hurt people. Where you can't manipulate people and harm innocent people because you're fucked up in the head. I find all of you to be completely and totally revolting. Because you choose guilt and innocence based on looks, gender, and money. I don't give a fuck if you got tits. You molest a fucking kid, I'm turning your ass in, bitch. When I accuse people of being child molesters, it's because they are, and because there is evidence of it. People of being child rapists, it's because there's evidence of it. Most of that evidence is from the victims or from people they told that never did anything. When Amy Witcher's daughter told her she was being molested by Andrew, what did Amy Witcher do? She helped Andrew to get away with it. On the bright side, I'm a mean son of a bitch and I won't shut up. And every fucking one of you goddamn pieces of shit who wants to be fucking abusive towards me instead of turning in these fucking child molesters and these goddamn rapists, these people who take advantage of at-risk and disabled adults. But you're fine with it. As long as it's not happening to you, you're fine with it. How many people, after blowing me off, wanted to get a hold of me after the fact? Because similar shit was happening to them. Fuck you, bud, you're on your own. Rather, that's what I should have said to these pieces of shit. Of course, most of these pieces of shit were protecting people that actually did it. Protecting people that actually molested children. Chelsea Aiken helped her son to get away with raping her daughter. Her son has a penis, but identifies as a girl to get away with it. Chelsea's son's name is Rain, and Rain is 300 pounds. I'm not sorry for saying this. How the fuck was her 7-year-old daughter supposed to defend herself against that? It's a good fucking question. How are you supposed to stop an 800-pound man, 300-pound man, from forcing his penis into you at 7 years old? Now, this doesn't just go for girls. Boys got to go through this too. I was one of them. But you don't want to fucking hear that, do you? You're all worthless pieces of shit. I live in the United States. There are no good people here. I'm it. If you are molested by your dad and you need help, I'm it. If you're being beaten by your mom and you need help, I'm it. And that sucks. But you know what? When Amy, Clean, and Kingery's kids told me they couldn't handle living there for one more fucking day You're goddamn right. I did every fucking thing that I could fucking do to get those girls out of Ray Ann Ingersoll's fucking place. I went to jail. And it was well worth it. Were those girls well behaved? Not even fucking close. Not by a long shot. But you know what? That's because they were being abused. You expect somebody to act all fine and dandy and pretend everything's okay when they're being abused? Those are pushovers. Those are sissies. Those are people who deserve it because they never speak up. Amy Kingery's daughters were trying to get help stopping that abuse the same as I was. Now, who is abusing those girls at Ray Ann Ingersoll's? Ray Ann Ingersoll. They finally charged her with child abuse and got those kids out of there. Then they dropped the child abuse charges against her because if they hadn't, that would have lended near to the things that I was saying. See, that's the thing, is that the courts give women leniency when they are blatantly fucking guilty. And the police and courts will outright deny a man his most basic rights because a predatory woman doesn't want to get in fucking trouble. I do have to worry about Officer Reeves committing felonies with these children. It seems to me that Officer Reeves is grooming children. And, yeah, that is a real thing. The problem is you're all sick, perverted fucks, every goddamn one of you. See, here's the thing. Every time that I hear somebody talk about how child molesters and rapists, how if they'd get a hold of them, they'd... Well, y'all claim that you kill them, don't you? You claim that's what you'd do, but you wouldn't. You wouldn't kill them. You've proven that. You also won't turn them in. You'll just create a bunch of drama and talk a bunch of shit. When it comes to people out here actually doing something useful, I'm it, and I'm broke. When it comes to people turning in child molesters and rapists, that's me. I'm the one doing that. Who's the most likely person to rape or molest you? Your mom and dad. Who's the most likely person to beat you to death? That'd be your mom. That's right. Your mom, out of everyone that you have ever met in your lifetime, your mom is the most likely person to beat you to death, not your husband. Did you know that? You have a much higher chance of being beaten to death by your mother as a child than you do of being beaten to death by your husband as an adult. Now, how can you tell that somebody has been beaten by their parents growing up? Well, that's the dumb cunt who's going to call you every fucking 2 weeks to tell you that she got beaten up by the same fucking guy that she's going to go back to in a week and let him fuck her again. Like, all right, you're always in constant need of help, but you're always going back to the same goddamn predator. You go back to the same dude over and over again. If he beats you and forces you to have sex, and then you go back and you say, but I love him. I don't give a fuck if you love him. I don't give a fuck. What I care about is that he's predatory, and so are you. It is one thing to leave a situation which you should have done and you had help doing repeatedly. It is entirely another when you are not fucking allowed. If that fucking piece of shit stalks you from Chesapeake, Virginia to fucking Colorado like Natalie did, like Alicia did, then they got severe fucking problems. But oh yeah, nobody helped me to fucking turn this shit in. Not one goddamn person. Nobody gave a fuck. And people are dead because cops are fucking trucks. The cops will literally just talk over me. That's why there needs to be a friend or family member there. Because you know what a fucking friend or family member will do? When those pieces of shit talk over the victim and sell a false goddamn narrative. Your friend or family can fucking speak up and say, hey, that is not okay. But I live in the United States of America, a country full of cowards and devoid of decency. A country where we're supposed to cater to and pander to a bunch of fucking druggies and the most twisted, manipulative, warped, and fucked up, selfish, greedy women on the planet. I have no rights. What I ask for is assisted termination of life. For it to be legal. For those of us who don't matter. Repeatedly in this town, I have recorded the police and many others committing felonies. When it comes to at-risk adults, all they've got to do is call you mentally ill, and magically anyone can harm you at any point in time for the rest of your life. And what do you do when that little girl is raped by her daddy? You give her a choice between staying with her fucking rapist daddy or being locked up. Police know how to abuse this protocol. They know how to lie and how to fucking manipulate. There is not a single cop in this country who cares to do their job as a cop. Now, of course, for me, my voice is mighty. It's the only tool I have. I'm stuck out here with drug addicts and alcoholics, and I'm supposed to go to these drugs and alcoholics and drug dealers for help? That's right. Peer support. No matter what, these pieces of shit just pawn me off on somebody else. It's always someone else's job. It's always someone else's job.
What time are you guys singing?
I don't, I wish. I don't get paid for a few hours.
Okay.
Now, from the moment I came to this town, I've spoken up about the predators. From the moment that I came to this town, I started trying to establish a safe place for me.
I walk around and scream.
I was thinking about streaming later, but my voice gets a lot louder.
Yeah. You should probably shut the fuck up.
Well, somebody's gonna have to put me in the ground to do that. Shut me up in 7 years.
Yeah. People are tired of listening to it.
Yeah, and I'm tired of being victimized.
Well, go do something with your life, dude.
I've been doing something with my life. Here you are giving advice. Do you know what's going on? Do you know why I'm being loud? Do you? Do you know why I'm recording this on YouTube? Do you understand why I do
Because
this?
you're a fucking crackhead.
Ah, see, there you just start slandering names and making assumptions. You want to go to the hospital with me and I can take a whiz quiz and you can try that again? That's the thing. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, nobody does.
Nobody gives a shit.
Nobody gives a shit.
And see, here you are bitching and saying nobody gives a shit while you're showing that you do give a shit.
I don't.
You do, or you wouldn't have stopped and been insulted.
I'm tired of listening to you yell. I'm 3 blocks away, dude.
Congratulations. This isn't yelling. I can yell.
No.
I can get a whole lot louder.
You need to be quiet, dude.
I don't need to be quiet, and I'm not going to be quiet. Telling me to shut up doesn't work, and whether or not you're going to listen to it ain't my problem. You can walk away, and thank you for doing so. See how easy that is? No problem. See, lots of people think that I should shut up about child molesters and rapists. Lots of people think I should shut up about the abuse that I've endured. Lots of people. Of course, they want to get a little bit confrontational like that guy. That's not a problem. All right, someone calling themselves Black Alien type shootout. And some stuff about being gay. There ain't no problem with gay people. I don't see why people want to type that up as an insult. I don't have a problem with gay folks. I have problems with people who want to shove sexuality into kids' face. You want to be gay? Be gay. You want to be straight? Be straight. If you can't help it, you can't help it. Black Alien typed male Karen. Well, of course. I'm not sure if you noticed though, but I'm a bit of a Karen myself. The shit that people hate the most is stuff I learned from my predators. Of course, the meanest stuff I couldn't do. I don't have the ability to. Now, protecting myself from law enforcement has always been a tough chore. Especially as a homeless person. No, I'm not. Oh no, I wasn't yelling.
Okay.
You've gotten to hear me yell, haven't you?
Yeah, but I mean, why?
I can get very loud.
Like, so were you just talking loud? Yeah, like I said.
I'm well aware of that. There was a guy who was just wanting to be threatening at me, and there's a guy on my YouTube channel typing at me about it.
So somebody was out here that was threatening you?
Yeah, just a minute ago, right before you pulled up. Although that wasn't the whole situation. This is over. That guy that I spoke to you about over at Tides of Change last year.
What was his name?
His name's James Murphy.
Okay. Does he live here?
I just got served papers because he's been harassing me for months, and no matter what, nobody's doing anything to help me turn it in.
Okay. Does James Murphy live around here?
Show you my paperwork. He doesn't live here. He literally followed me here from Hood River, like I told you.
So he's physically here.
I told you he was physically here when I talked to you at Tides of Change. Yeah.
No, I know.
I literally left town around 4th of July because that was the 6th time that he pulled this. And then when I got back from Astoria and Warrenton, which is where I was trying to go to get away from that, and hopefully when I come back he was gone. Well, I came back and he's been doing this again.
Is he still here in the area?
Yes, he is. He was just here 2 days ago. There's a lady named Susan.
Like right now.
I don't know.
Because you mentioned that he was in.
He was able to get a protection order against me with no evidence. I've been trying to turn in evidence since I was in Hood River on this guy. My YouTube channel is full of me trying to turn that in. Not just that crime, but also the situation with Molly.
Who served you the paperwork?
The sheriff's department. It's on my YouTube channel, though.
So he's a home. Is he homeless and he just follows you around here?
His name is James Murphy, and his license plate number is HD 44648 because he changed his license number after I spoke to you.
James Murphy doesn't sound familiar. Like, I know you might have mentioned his name. He doesn't sound like.
Well, I didn't know his last name, or I didn't know his name until just recently. All I knew is that either his name was Murphy or his dog's name was Murphy.
Okay, so he has a dog.
He does have a
What kind of
dog. It's a golden retriever. It's a Dolphin RV, and the conversation with you and I, almost half of it is
So have you
on
seen
the
him
internet.
today? Actually, today?
No, I haven't seen him today.
Okay, because you mentioned he had just been here, so I was like trying to clarify.
He was here yesterday harassing my vehicle and Susan told him to leave my vehicle alone, that I wasn't there. He harassed me in this parking lot the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that. He also harassed me over at the Safeway parking lot.
Did he say
He
what he
follows
wanted
me
from
around.
you? Did he say what he
Sir, I'm trying to turn him in for the shit that he was doing to me in Hood River. He doesn't like the fact that he's recorded and put on YouTube. Most people don't, but it's not illegal for me to post up the crimes committed against me, or the people who did it, or to post it on the internet.
All right, well, I'll keep a lookout for the dolphin. It's like a cream-colored dolphin RV.
Yep, Toyota.
James Jordan. I'll remember that.
Now, the thing is, I've been trying to get a hold of the state police because I keep getting sent back to your department to turn in the officers from your department who committed felonies against me. And this is just insanity.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But yeah, I'll keep a lookout for him. Okay.
I got court on the 12th.
With
Court against Mr. Murphy because he, like I said, I got served with papers.
yeah, Dad.
I went down to the DA's office.
You
They
have to
said that
show
even
up,
though,
right? You have to show up in court.
Yep. But the thing is that the situation, this was last year when I was telling you about this stuff, nothing happened then either. This guy has been stalking me the whole time.
Well, just be safe, okay? I'll keep a lookout. I'll remember the name James Murphy.
Well, how do I subpoena you to court on the 12th? For what? So that you can verify that I went to you and actually get on the stand and say it. I mean, I got the recordings.
I mean, you couldn't subpoena anybody unless it was relevant to whatever. I mean, if you're going to court over a,
I'm going to court over this guy misusing the judicial system to try to punish me
yeah, but
for telling on him.
I know, but you couldn't subpoena me because I don't have any knowledge of the case. I don't have.
You do have knowledge of the case. You have knowledge of the fact that I tried to turn this guy in last year.
Yeah.
That I spoke with you at Tides of Change with
Yeah,
Monica.
Yes, like I said, but the thing is, if you would like, you could do a discovery for the report, the log that was done. But there's no report done because there was nothing to substantiate. So,
No, you just didn't want to do your job, and that's why I've been trying to turn you in too.
well, you can try, but like I said,
I know I can try, and I've got many other witnesses to the situation recorded as well.
like I said, you can subpoena someone, but it has to be relevant to the case.
And that's the thing, is that you are relevant to the case, as well as the misuse and misappropriation of funds.
Well, like I said, I'll remember James Murphy and the cream colored RV, okay? But just be careful. Like I said, someone called, they don't know you, and they said you were yelling and screaming. So,
Whether they know me or not, the fact is I'm trying to turn in crimes against me, and I have to be afraid to turn it into you guys because you're not going to file a report.
we wouldn't file a report for like restraining, but or we wouldn't. You have to go to the court. That's a civil process.
I'm a
but-
disabled and at-risk adult, and he's attempted to assault me and threatened to kill me on multiple occasions. That's not a civil matter.
Have you called the police each time he's trying to do it?
I have tried.
Okay.
I get talked over by the police every time that happens because I don't have a friend or family member with me. The standard procedure for a homeless person is blow us off.
Every time you've reported stuff, this person we haven't been able to locate. Where you say they are, they're never there.
No, that's not the truth, and that's why I record things. All the things that you just said are recorded on my channel as not being
Of
true.
course. I totally understand. Like I said, I'm gonna go, but I'll remember James Murphy. Okay, I assure you, I will. Or at least the name. Can you tell me what he looks like?
Shit, I can show you what he looks like.
Yeah. Picture.
Do you have? You can look on my YouTube channel right now. The guy's name is James Murphy, and his license plate number HD 44648. You type it up on my
Yeah.
YouTube channel, you
Alright.
can see his face.
Well, then just be careful, okay? Just stay away from him. That's fine.
That's what I've been trying to do. That's the thing. He stalked me here from Hood River.
Yeah. So how does he know? Like, I guess I'm curious. How does he know where you go?
That's the thing about me having to explain this again. I explained this to you last time it went
Does
in
he
one
watch
ear
your
and out the
YouTube
other.
channels, know where you're at?
Of course.
Well, then stop putting your little.
No, I have to report on the YouTube channel because you guys aren't going to do your job, and I have to prove that this stuff happened. If I don't record it live, then I get harmed.
If you keep telling him where you're at, then
I'm trying to turn them in. I'm not doing this to tell them where I'm at. I'm doing this because nobody helps me to turn it in.
Yeah, but you do understand that if he's stalking you and you're fear for your life or your safety, telling him
You understand that I have told you repeatedly that I have to be in fear of my life at all points in time, not just him, many predators, and I have evidence of many of those predators. I needed you to look at it. You refused to look at the evidence. So did your fellow officers, and so did that lady at Tides of Change.
You know, every time
We're done. God, what useless fucking twats. On the bright side, at least this video's got verification from him that I did go to him. Boy, do I feel glad. Black alien type. I'm not going to talk about that molestation charge. Well, you think that dude was charged with molestation? If you know him. That cop looks like he's broken. Poor guy. So here's the thing. He verified a lot of things that I needed him to verify, and thank goodness for that. That keeps me from having to dig through a bunch of videos. If you want me to shut up, don't make me fucking scream out in public. Now, I very well could have screamed out in public. I can get very loud. Now, I chose to be mildly loud and mildly annoying. I hope that doesn't hurt your feelers too much. And today, Susan was able to verify that the messages aren't getting to her phone fast enough. The hell is it downloading? Useless shits. I'm not sure if I like this feller calling himself Black Alien. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I don't. I don't think being mean to people by insinuating that they're gay is okay. That's what predators do. Calling yourself Black Alien, well, I've got a real name. Sean David Schwartz. These guys want to talk over me and tell me not to go to the internet. I have to go to the internet because they won't do their fucking jobs. The fact that they haven't done their jobs has resulted in a lot more fucking harm against me. They don't want to do their fucking jobs. That's not my fucking fault. Hey, Susan, Officer Martinez is the officer that I spoke to about this guy over at Tides of Change last year. I was just harassed by him. So I did get that recorded. I also recorded a guy being a douche to me. I'm definitely loud, definitely boisterous, but I definitely didn't threaten to harm or kill anybody, which is awful nice of me given the circumstances of people threatening to kill me and my friends and family. Anyway, Officer Martinez wanted to play stupid and lie to me about what he felt the law was. Apparently, the law is not what it says on paper, it's whatever the officer feels like at the time. So I did get it recorded, so that's a good start. Matter of fact, I'm still recording that video right at this moment. Now let's see if it'll play. Hey, Susan. Officer Martinez is the officer that I spoke to about this guy over at Tides of Change last year. I was just harassed by him. So I did get that recorded. I also recorded a guy being a douche to me. I'm definitely loud, definitely boisterous, but I definitely didn't threaten to harm or kill anybody, which is awful nice of me given the circumstances of people threatening to kill me and my friends and family. Anyway, Officer Martinez wanted to play stupid and lie to me about what he felt the law was. Apparently, the law is not what it says on paper, it's whatever the officer feels like at the time. So I did get it recorded, so that's a good start. Matter of fact, I'm still recording that video right at this moment.